you need truth and life. Here is the Brother Leon Show. You better recognize.
What's going on, listeners? This is your boy, Brother Leon, and we are back again for a hot interview. We're going to have an intimate conversation with County Counsel President, running for the office, Miss Aja Ajavon. She is fantastic. I want you guys to know that she is the truth. She is running for County Counsel President, and we're going to have an intimate conversation on why she needs to be the next County Council President and why you need to vote for her. So, guys, I want you to sit back, listen, hear her plan, hear her voice, hear her heart, because she is what is needed for Newcastle County. She is needed for the state of Delaware. She is needed for our community. So on that, I want to welcome you guys, and I want to say, hey, we're going to go into it. So here is Miss Aja Ajavon. Miss Aja Ajavon, how are you doing today?
I am well, Leon. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Thanks so much for having me here.
Yes. So, we had an interview before, had some hiccups with it, so I want to apologize on my end about that. But today we are in a more quiet, secure place, number one. Mm-hmm. And we can actually get into the details about who you are, why people need to vote for you, and what your plan is for becoming Newcastle County president, and also the things that you want to implement and do and bring change, because we definitely need it. So talk to us. Who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Ajawavi Jackie. Everyone calls me Aja. I am a mom, an entrepreneur. I'm a professor at Wilmington University. I am a conflict resolutionist specialist. I'm an activist. I am everything. I'm running for Newcastle County Council President because I feel that, it's time for change. I believe we need leaders in positions that can make decisions that's going to govern the people at large, and right decisions that will promote, equity and justice and diversity as well. So that's some of the reasons why I'm running for office.
Okay, so you just said conflict resolution. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I am a conflict mediation expert. I've been mediating for more than 15 years now. I mediate cases. Pertaining to labor disputes. I mediate families who are going through divorces. Help them navigate the system. Help them, negotiate, think outside the box, and come up with an agreement that is in the best interest of themselves and their families. With union, I've dealt with several types of union contracts, starting from small corporations to very large corporations, dealing with contracts, negotiations, making sure that the unions and the employers are satisfied with the outcome. So those are some of the reasons why I put focus on mediation, because I encourage people to always think outside the box and engage in mediation when it comes to any type of dispute. I also teach mediation skills and conflict resolution and organizational conflict resolution at Wilmington University, at the the Burlington campus in New Jersey, and the Cumberland campus, and now at the Newcastle campus.
Wow. So how long have you been teaching at the college level?
I have been at Wilmington University since 2016.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So in doing so, you're pretty much, with your mediation skills, you're going to be able to make a bridge for people. So we'll be able to come to a compromise, and that's definitely what we need in Newcastle County when dealing with the council and dealing with the county administrator and some of the things that need to get passed for the county. So in particular, is there anything that you want to tell us about your plans that you have in place some of the things that you want to implement if when elected?
My platform is basically strengthening public safety, one. Second most important thing to me is repurposing our libraries. I have a clean green plan for our parks to improve our parks for our children. Preserving our farmlands and open space. There's several spaces in Newcastle County that is underdeveloped. And also being a consensus builder, which again goes back to my mediation skills. Bringing council together to make sure that we're all on one accord for the community at large.
Okay, that's great. That's definitely great. So I know the libraries were Tom Gordon's baby. So tell me, what are you trying to do with the libraries when you mean when you say that?
There's so many things that I think could be improved when it comes to the libraries. One of them is bringing in entrepreneur incubators, making sure that people in the communities have programs that focuses on their needs. There's so many people, like for instance, you talk about Tom Gordon Baby, and I focus on the Route 9 Library. It's a beautiful library, but I don't believe there's enough programs in there that encourages the community at large to visit the library. Entrepreneur incubators is something that is needed. Not everybody can work a 9 to 5, but if you encourage people to be self-sufficient and self-employed, I think it's something that's going to really increase the economy and also gives them that positive outlook on life. So having programs at the library such as that, bringing programs that would encourage the youth to read more, whether it's checking out books or even reading online, teaching them how to deal with specific situations within the communities, having an ESL in community libraries where you have majority of the people in that area speak another language. I mean, just programs like that, will be very vital to the libraries. And I say that actually this can be increased and this can be done without even touching the budget that we currently have.
That's great. That's great because there's always issues in county council with budgets and it's always a pull, like a tug of war when it comes to things of that nature. But the one thing I see right now is that you are about family and engaging families and empowering families.
Yes.
So talk to us. What is your view? What is your view on equipping families?
I think it's important. Education is something that I always focus on when I do my mediation. Even when I'm mediating a divorce case, I try to educate as well and empower the families because at the moment of the mediation, most people are adversarial and they're upset and they have to think about the family at large. They have to think about what happens after the mediation. How will you communicate and co-parent after the mediation? So I educate them on that aspect. I also, I'm also a founder of a nonprofit called Every Man Counts. And Every Man Counts focuses on fathers and their children. Again, family, encouraging them to be a better father for the lives of their children. So our motto is better dads, better lives. We encourage our fathers to communicate effectively with their children's mother. We encourage our fathers to be vital assets in their children's lives. We have programs that encourages that. We take our fathers and their children fishing every year, which build a bonding. We have a bonding activity. We fish, we kayak, we zip line. It's a fun day for fathers, and most of these fathers have never left the city of Wilmington, or the children has never left. So this is like a bonding environment for them. We have activities where we have fathers and their children doing things. We're baking, we're cooking. So family is so important, and I look at the people in Newcastle County as my family. And that's why I think it's important that we focus on how to move the family along and how to encourage the family to be greater and better. Because if you want the best for your family, yes. I want the best for my family in Newcastle County.
Okay, I'm getting ready to get a little intimate. Tell us about your family. Tell us where you come from. How did you come here?
Oh, wow. Originally, I'm from Liberia, West Africa. I came to this country when I was 10 years old. There was a war, our first coup d'etat in 1980, and I left in 1981 June. So I have been in this country for quite a number of years. I have 3 adult children, 2 who have graduated from college. One is serving in the U.S. Navy. I love family. And in Africa, and anyone who knows Africa, we always say the village. We are all about family. And that's how I am. I will walk down the street and everybody knows Aja. Aja, Miss Aja is this, Miss Aja is that. I solely believe that, it does take a village to move things along. And I have that background, that foundation of family first. And that's what I plan on doing, to implement that value and bring it to the county at large.
That's great. That's great. We definitely need that because there is so much diversity that we see within our county, and it's constantly changing. And so one thing that we definitely need is someone who is going to not only represent that, but also someone who's going to empower it. Mm-hmm. And if there's anything that needs to change, someone who's going to be about change.
Definitely. I am about change. I have developed jobs. I have said something the other day. I said, when I'm a single parent. I put 2 children through college. I worked 3 jobs. And then when I became an entrepreneur, I created jobs for people so they can feed their families. Now, as a leader, I'm going to work tirelessly for the families of Newcastle County to make sure that their needs are met, to make sure that I work well with the council members in order to represent you at the best.
Okay, that's definitely good. So I want to, right now, our country is, we are in a struggle right now. So it's going to be a little sensitive. How do you see yourself, and how do you see your candidacy? How do you believe that county council can change the dynamic or even the view of how law enforcement is in Newcastle County? How can we deal with that? Because I know your platform is about public safety. So how can we get mediation or get a bridge of understanding between law enforcement and Newcastle County citizens?
My thing again, Leon, is education.
Okay.
I think it's important that we educate our community at large on the good and the bad when it comes to our policing. I think it's important that our police are involved in the community more so than ever now. I believe that we need to increase our diversity in the police department, have more people of color as police officers to represent the communities at large. I believe that, it's not only with training, but making sure the police officers that are coming out of the academy are well equipped with what's going on in their communities. I believe, as the council president, we can do that. We can all, 13 of us, the 12th council member and myself, can really make that happen. I believe in transparency. I think it's important that, the police department is as transparent as possible, where the community can trust them and go to them for any issue, feel comfortable to communicate with their police officers because they're there to protect and serve us. I think it's important. With this situation that's been going on, it is very personal to me because I have 2 young men in my life, my boys. And to watch that video of Floyd and hear him cry out for his mother, it broke my heart because that could have been my son's, and how can we teach our police officers to be less harder on our boys and our young ladies of color and more understanding and more approachable. We all have to look at that. We have to look at that. We have to train ourselves how to react when a police is in front of us or if a police is speaking with us, So the training is not only for the police, it's also for the community because the community has to understand how to accept and receive the police that comes into our community to protect and serve us.
Okay. I like that. So I want to go back to the whole family part. Why did you choose, or how did you choose? How did you get involved in politics? And tell us from your early years.
Wow, politics started, actually I think it started way before then, but I think I got more involved in the 1980s, the late 80s. In 1989, I entered college, and I went to an HBCU in Texas, where the population of the town was Caucasian, and the school was all African American or people of color. And in that town, it was very, oh my God, the racial tension was very high.
Wow. One second. What was the name of the school?
My school was Prairie A&M University in Prairie View, Texas.
Okay. What's the history behind that?
Prairie View, Texas, if I'm not mistaken, is the oldest HBCU in Texas. It's a small town that the school was given to the black slaves so they can have their own higher education. However, that didn't stop our police officers and the people of the town to still discriminate. As late as 1989, we still had signs at our gathering hall that says, excuse my expression, niggers only and whites only, or niggers entrance, or, and I was a young 18-year-old, and I felt like that was so degrading, It's like, how dare they tell us?
Can you say the year again?
1989. That was 31 years ago.
Say it again.
89.
And those type of signs were what?
Were still up. Yes.
Wow.
We were not allowed to go into the McDonald's. We were not allowed to go into the Walmart. We had certain times that we were allowed to do certain things in the town. And it was a small town. We were in between 3 different provinces. We were in Hockley. If you know anything about Prairie View, there's Hockley, there's Tomball, there's Hempstead. And it's about 45 minutes to an hour drive from Houston, Texas. So we were very upset. And there was a handful of African students. And even though I was here, an American citizen, I was, an American resident, I was considered one of the African students. So we put together an Africans Against Justice group. And we started petitioning, the police department, and we petitioned the mayor for the town. We marched. We got arrested. No one was fingerprinted or anything like that. But, that's where my first political engagement started, because of our little group, because of our voice. In 1992, now mind you, that was 1989. 1992, I went back again. We marched, we protested, because at that time it was just getting ridiculous. In 2002, we finally was successful. Prairie View students were finally able to vote. Prairie View students were actually able to run for office. Prairie View students were actually being part of the community. However, the Walmart still didn't change their standards. The McDonald's allowed people to go into McDonald's, but they stopped serving blacks. This was 2002. My son was born 2001. 2002 when we went back. We made baby steps. In 2012, I learned that the Walmart changed, and they were allowing blacks to go in, but only until 9 o'clock. So it's not 1960. It's not 1950. This is 2012.
Wow.
So, but our little group is still standing. Africans for Change, for Justice is still there. And, and that's where I started my political, endeavors. And then fast forward, in Delaware, 2018, I ran for state representative in District 5, which was really, really encouraging, and I enjoyed it. I learned a lot about the state. I learned a lot about the district. And that pushed me to run for the seat I'm running for, because if I can make such an impact in that district, in District 5, and had almost 7,000 people come out to vote for, 700 people come out and vote for me, what can happen if I run at large?
Yeah. So tell me, I know you had to talk to Reverend Christopher Bullock.
Oh, yes.
Who is he to you?
Mr. Bullock. Reverend Christopher Bullock is my pastor and my mentor. I am a member of Canaan Baptist Church and also a member of the International Ministry. He guides me. He encourages me, and I like that, because I've been in several churches in Delaware since I've been in Delaware. And I've had only 2 pastors that have really guided me and been a mentor. The first was Reverend Dwayne Bull in Smyrna, and then Reverend Dr. Christopher Allen Bullock.
Did he give you any wise words about running?
He has always given me wise words. He has given me wise words. When I decided to run for office, my decision, I went to him. I prayed to God first. Mm-hmm. And then I went to my pastor, and he sent me back and said, go ahead and pray about it again. Mm-hmm. And I prayed about it again, and I went to him. He said, have you made up your decision? I said, yes, I have. And he said, whatever your decision is, I will support you. Okay. So I told him what I decided to do, and he said, okay. I like that because he's a man of his word. He's a strong man of God, and I respect him.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I want to ask you about faith and family. How are they so important to you?
It is extremely, did I say extremely? Mm-hmm. Extremely important to me because without faith, works is dead. There's nothing you can do without faith. I wouldn't be here interviewing with you if I didn't have faith. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be running for an office where I believe I'm the first woman of color to run for without faith.
Say that again.
I wouldn't be running for this office. I believe I'm the first woman of color to run for without faith.
Amen.
Faith is what leads us through the darkness to see the light. Faith is what's taken me this far. Faith is what brought me from West Africa 30-something years ago. Mm-hmm. Faith is what put me through college and put my children through college and work those 3 jobs. Faith is what got me to start my own company. Faith is what got me to help over 1,000+ fathers out of the prison system and into their own companies and being stable people, families with their children. Faith is what got me to do all of that. Mm-hmm. And faith is going to get me to the winning seat on September 15th.
Oh, yes. I believe it.
I believe it,
because the Bible says, I will show you my faith by my works.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, listeners, you are hearing it. I'm serious. I'm seeing it right now, but you're going to be hearing it. So I want you guys to get out, get the vote seriously, because at this time and at this season, we cannot afford to be silent. So let me ask you this, Ms. Aja, what is your view on the importance and the priority of voting?
Voting is very important. I think it is exercising your right. We all have that right. We have the freedom of speech, and in order to exercise our freedom of speech, we need a vote. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room, but if you cast your ballot and you vote for that right person, your voice is already heard. Right now, in the times that we're facing with the presidential election, your local elections, it's important. I'm not only asking, I'm appealing to everyone. Come out and vote in your local elections.
Can you say that again?
Come out and vote in your local elections.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of people put the emphasis on the federal. But where does most of the work happen?
In your local elections. I'm telling you, your local politicians are the ones that make the laws for your state that governs you. Because the federal level, it governs everyone. But if you want to see immediate change in your state, vote in your local election. Vote for the politicians that's going to really do their job. That's going to go out there and work on your behalf. That's going to put you first because you put them first when you was voting for them. So make sure that when you go out on September 15, you make sure you know who you're voting for. Read their policies. Go on my website. It's www.ajaajavon.com. Read all about me. Pick up the phone and call me. I had a constituent, Leon, call me on Friday. And I answered the phone. He was shocked. He said, oh my God, I thought I was going to talk to a voicemail or a secretary, but I'm calling you. I said, yeah, it's my personal phone that I put on there because I want people to get to know me. Call me. Get to know me. You know, if I can't answer your question right away, I will definitely get back to you because I will make sure I find an answer for you or direct you to the right person that can, right? It's all about coming together. What is the most important thing in our lives is to make sure that we educate our community. Educate our community so that they can be self-sufficient, that they can go out there and know what they're doing. You know, I tell people all the time, it's not about, pushing stuff under the rug. They get mad, we vote this politician in and they're not doing what they say they're going to do. And they haven't done it. They've been there 4 years. They've been there 6 years. They've been there 20 years. You know, but it's time that we stop complaining and start doing. We have to hold our politician feet to the fire. We have to hold them accountable. You can't just complain. This is election season. Mm-hmm. Make a difference. Yeah, if you haven't seen change in 20, 30, 40 years, go to the voting booth. Mm-hmm. Start investigating. Looking at candidates who are running against the person that you need to move or be removed or you need change. If that person is running for re-election, ask them questions. Go on their website. Pick up the phone and call them. Email them. Mm-hmm. Make sure that they deserve your vote. Mm-hmm. Don't just vote because you're voting because you want to vote or you just want to vote because somebody has a name. No. Mm-hmm. That name can't do nothing for you. Yeah. It's the person who has to do the work, not the name.
Exactly.
So investigate. Learn your candidates. Understand where they come from. Understand what they're trying to do. Make sure that their message aligns with your message. Make sure their values and their mission statement is something that you can believe in, that you know that if when they get in there, you can work with them. Okay. And I tell people all the time, I say, look, I'm running this race, but I'm not running it for me. I'm running it for us. And when I get in there, I want us to work together. I can't do it by myself. If you need things to be done, come to me. Don't sit at home and complain, Aja ain't doing what she's supposed to do. No. Mm-hmm. Come to me. Call me. Come to the meetings. Mm-hmm. Come to the council meeting. Call me out on the carpet. Yeah. Look, you said you was going to do this. Then let me tell you, look, I want to do it, but I need your help. Because one person can't change the world.
Yeah, so you're giving people access.
Yes. Transparency is important. Mm-hmm. Easy access. Open government. We need an open door policy. Mm-hmm. Not when I open the door, you have a policy. No. I had to throw that in there.
Thank you. So let me ask you this. What is it about your plan that's going to speak to the people that you're trying to reach? And how is yours unique from everybody else's? Because everybody wants to say, oh, yeah, we're going to do da-da-da-da-da. What makes yours unique and how does it speak to the constituents?
The most important thing I tell people is I have worked with the most difficult of difficult people in the world. I have brought those most difficult people in the world to a consensus. I have negotiated for months. I have been in a room where there was no hope. Everybody was adversarial. Everybody was bickering and contracts were being lost and people were walking away from the deal and people were not happy. But I have gone in there and I have brought them down where we have reached agreements that people have sat there and scratched their head and said, we have been doing this for years and we haven't reached an agreement. You come in and you do it. Now, Leon, let me tell you something. I'm not saying every deal that I've sat at across the table from an employer, an employee, a union rep, a divorced family, mother and father, companies having problems with the employees as far as disputes. I can't tell you that I've settled everything. However, when they leave that room from that arbitration or that mediation, they have learned something new than they never knew before. That is my purpose in life. When you walk into any of my mediation or my arbitration, you know when you walk out of there, you're either leaving with one of two things. You're either leaving with an agreement that will be that will be in sync for where everybody across the table is satisfied with, or you'll walk out of there happy and knowing more than you knew. So when you do meet again, whether I'm the mediator, the arbitrator, or someone else is, you're more equipped, you're prepared to discuss it and move forward. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's the difference. I'm a consensus builder. I bring people together. Okay? I'm a family person. I bring people at a table. I can come to you, Leon, and I can walk across the table, or walk across the floor, and talk to a Republican and a Democrat. I like to talk, and I like to understand people, mm-hmm. and I like to help people. Good. And that's what I'm bringing to this council.
That's great. That's great. So that basically means that you will bridge the gap.
Definitely.
And you'll definitely be able to work with the county executive.
Definitely. And that's important. Government has to work together regardless of their differences. Mm-hmm. You cannot put your personal feelings into someone, into everything you do. You know, someone's telling me, oh, you can't be in your feelings. No, you cannot. When it comes to representing the people at large, you got to put your feelings aside, mm-hmm. because it's all about protecting and doing what you need for your constituents. Working with county government is a priority. Mm-hmm. Whether we agree on everything or not, we can agree to disagree, but we're working for the better good of our people. Mm-hmm. Working with city government is important as well. Yeah. I believe that the city government and the county government should work as one, whether it's Wilmington City, Newark City, Bear, wherever that city entity is, they need to work with the county, because the county is the next step to the legislatures in Dover. So I think it's important that we all work together. We're not going to all get along. I'm not looking for a popularity contest, let me tell you, because if I was, I wouldn't be in the field that I'm in, right? Yeah. Because I'm, But the fact is, Leon, I love people, and I love seeing smile on people's faces. And there's some people that have walked away from things that are very upset with me. But you know what? They go back and they do think about it. Mm-hmm. I'm not the best person or the perfect person, let's put it that way, because nobody's perfect. But I can guarantee you I will work hard to make sure that council work together, mm-hmm. for their constituents in their districts.
Okay. I like that. Let me ask you this, because a lot of times, God blesses us with gifts, and then those gifts move on. Can you at least promise us that you'll stay for a couple terms? Because I know you got bigger, better things.
The thing is, I don't like the word promise.
Okay.
But I can assure you, if you vote me in for a second term, mm-hmm. or a third term, I will honor that.
Okay.
And I will keep running until I've exhausted myself, mm-hmm. Or someone else come out who's much better and greater than I am. Mm-hmm. But I am there to serve the people. Okay. How long it be, that is up to the people to determine that. But as long as you vote me in, I will be there to serve you. Okay. So as far as promising, I can't promise you anything, sweetie, because I don't know what God has for me tomorrow.
Okay.
All I can do is say I'm running this time, mm-hmm. and I pray that I'm there for 4 years. And after that first 4 years, when I run again, I pray my constituents can vote me in, and God give me good health. Mm-hmm. So yes, promise.
Okay.
I want to. I will be there for my people, but it's up to them to vote me in.
Okay. All right, mm-hmm. Listeners, you're hearing it. Ms. Aja, do you have any up-and-coming events? Tell us about some of the things you have upcoming.
Yes, we do. Actually, we do have a Zoom meeting that we have every Sunday. And what we're doing is we're sending invites to individuals to join me on Zoom to have a conversation about what's going on in our communities. I know today we have one at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about the removal of the different statues that have been removed throughout the city of Wilmington and throughout Newcastle County, and what's been going on with the injustices and inequality in the community. And then next Thursday, we have a fundraiser on Facebook where people can log on and listen to DJs. There will be about 4 DJs, if I'm not mistaken. And Tim Dog is going to be one of those DJs.
Yes, he's good.
Yes, and he's going to be one of those DJs. So we're trying to raise money. And as most people know, when you're running a campaign, you need money to run that campaign. So with our new normal and within these difficult times, it's been it's been very hard for people to donate to any form of fundraising. But as I said, every little bit helps, whether it's $1 or $5 or whatever you see in your heart to give on Thursday. I would truly appreciate it.
Can you tell us the ways to give?
There's several ways to give. You can actually go on our website, www.ajaajavon.com/donate. You can Cash App, you can PayPal, and you can Act Blue. You can also mail us a check or money order, and we will be more than happy to contact you when we do receive them. So there's 4 ways. Act Blue is on our website. Cash App, everything is on our website, and so is PayPal, and our address is also on our website. The 4th of July, I was told there will not be a local parade. However, we're using that day to do a social distancing barbecue in the community, and the address is to follow. So we're going to feed the community. We're going to talk about the importance of voters registration and the importance of coming out to vote on July 7th, which is the presidential primary, and also September 15th, which is your local Delaware primary.
That's great. That's great. Do you where are you on social media? Can everybody follow you on social media? What are the platforms?
Yes, they can. Thank you so much for that. They can go on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And the Facebook is facebook.com/ or you can just go Aja Ajavon, 4, NCCO, Prez, PRES, as in Sam. Our Instagram handle is at Aja Ajavon _DE. Our Twitter is just at Aja Ajavon. So everything is easy. It's Aja Ajavon. If you're unsure of what I just said or it wasn't clear, go on our website at www.ajaajavon.com, and you can go through that platform to select one of our social media platform, and it will direct you straight to them, to Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
Okay.
You can also reach me at 302-408-0065. And yes, it is my personal number, 302-408-0065. I ask you not to abuse it. Do not call me at 2 o'clock in the morning, please. But you're more than welcome to call me anytime before midnight.
Okay, that's good. That's great. So, my last question. Why should people vote for Aja Ajavon? Why should they vote for you?
Whew, that's a great question. I'm going to say it is very short.
Okay.
I'm very unique. I am, and I said this so many times, I am focused on the families of Newcastle County. The difference between myself and the other candidates is that I'm a consensus builder. And I know I talked about that earlier a lot, and I think it's important that the person who is representing the county knows how to communicate effectively, bring people together, and navigate conversations between the council members and the constituents at large to make sure that we reach a consensus in the best interest of the constituents. Why you should vote for me? Those are some of the reasons why. I plan on making a change, bringing a change to Newcastle County. I plan on being an advocate for the council and an advocate for the constituents. My background and my training speaks for itself. I have developed programs. I have started, I've spearheaded activities and built organizations within Newcastle County that has been successful for many years. I believe that my skills, my qualifications speaks to that, and that makes me qualified for this position.
Okay. I love it. The one thing that I see is that you have a heart for community, and you have a heart for people and family, and everything that you have told me thus far mirrors everything that you want to accomplish. So your vision is broad and is definitely direct. It pinpoints to the success of our people and our community. So I want to say, Ms. Ajavon, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Leon. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right. All right, listeners, this is the Brother Leon Show. We are out, and I just want to say peace and have a blessed day.